It has been a while since I have done a Tom Mayo knife video. And this one comes in from probably the same guy who loaned me the previous Tom Mayo knife that I did. This came from 50 Shades of Slash, my good buddy JP. And this is the Damascus Dr. Death. It is a beautiful knife. And the Velcro pouch that they come in are made by Tom's daughter, which is super cool. And it's not really dark enough right now to show, but it does glow in the dark, which I think, again, is just super cool. You can kind of see it there. Just a fun little add-on piece that, doesn't really mean much of anything, but it's cool. And I think that's just a cool factor because really I'm like 12. So if something glows in the dark, I need to have it, much like this mini Hellraiser that I got from Jim Skelton. Because it glows in the dark is one of the reasons why Jim knew he could entice me to buy it. Anyway, let's get back to this thing. This thing is super cool. Has one, maybe two little negatives. One, the detent is pretty light on this. This is not brand new. It's been around for a while in JP's collection. And number two, it is tip down pocket clip carry only. So it does go into your pocket this way. You pull it from your pocket. You have to kind of then swing it around to get it in position to then deploy the blade. Is that the end of the world? No. When I first started carrying a knife almost all the time, it was the Spyderco police model, which is at that time, back in the late 80s, it was tip down carry also only. So you couldn't change it around back then. You couldn't even change it left or right, the police model. This is a right-handed carry, tip down only. I'm not too heartbroken about that, honestly. So 5¼ inches closed, 9½ inches overall with a 4.23 inch blade. Let's just zoom in here. Let's zoom way in here. So you can see that beautiful Damascus blade. You have 4.06 inches of cutting edge. The blade thickness is 0.130. Weighs in at 4.6 ounces, and its overall is 0.471. But nobody really cares about all those dimensions on a knife like this because it's just badass at any size, really. Beautiful handmade customs. Tom Mayo's over in, I believe he's still in Hawaii. I don't know that for certain, but spent a lot of time in Hawaii, lived there. Started making knives back in the early 80s, but was a fan of knives growing up and whatnot. His grandfather always gave him one for Christmas and things like that. So yeah, super cool story, super cool guy, and makes some really cool stuff. The jimping here on the back is fantastic. It almost could be a front flipper, almost, because this jimping is so good right here. And the detent is a little weak. You can, with a little wrist, a little more wrist. All right. Well, one last time, I was able to do it earlier. All right. Well, you get where I'm going. Okay. It's not designed as a front flipper. I did just realize that it could be because the detent is light, so it can kind of come out this way. But it's very cool. Titanium scales. Damascus blade, runs on bearings. I mean, what more can you say? I like a lot of the attention to detail really is, these aren't just speed holes. I mean, some are, but then you have this main one in the middle, if it'll focus there, has milling around the holes. So there's a lot of little details in this that you don't necessarily notice. Lanyard Hold, but the Lanyard Hold, I'm not a big lanyard guy, but a knife like this with all of these speed holes already, it doesn't even look like a lanyard hole, really. I mean, you got to kind of look at it. Now, the blade does kind of come in contact there, so you would want to use smaller paracord for that blade or for that lanyard, but you could do it. I mean, it's just a wonderful knife. I'm super excited that he was kind enough and generous enough to send this in. I didn't know much about it when I just saw it on his Instagram. And I said, hey, can I, he was going to send me some stuff anyway. And he goes, do you want anything else, to borrow anything else? And I said, yeah. Hey, I saw these couple of things on your Instagram. Do you still have them? He's a collector like me, Spider Codelica. He's a collector like me. And so sometimes we're selling stuff and trading stuff and all of that. VC Edge interface. And because I can, the Vandermeulen Blade Works Homosaurus. I've done a full video on this before because JP lent it to me previously. So please go check out that video if you haven't already seen it. Let's see, is this going to fit all in the screen? It is. So there you go. It's a monster. So he sent me this also because there's something else that goes along with it, and I'll do another video on that. So stay tuned for that one. You're not going to want to miss that. So there you go, guys. Just a quick look at the Tom Mayo Damascus Dr. Death alongside the Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser right then. So thanks for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll put a link to the Homosaurus video up in the corner, just in case anybody wants to check it out. It's worth looking at. Thanks a lot, guys.